All right, guys, I've been spending all week trying to avoid this conversation, but it's gotten to the point where it's extremely, extremely weird at this point. And it's not weird because people agree or disagree on Disney's decision of making Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid. No, no, no. It has nothing to do with that. I'm all for people having the right to have their own opinion when it comes to things because you guys heard the spiel. We come from all different walks of life. We come from different backgrounds. We have different experiences. We have different Mandela obligatas or whatever the case may be. We're all different and we're not supposed to agree on everything all the time. That is not realistic at all. So I have no problem with that. People have to argue and discuss. Fine. There's beauty in that. People can learn from that. But the part that makes this extremely weird, in my personal opinion, is to see grown adults online slinging mud at each other over the Little Mermaid, over the choice of the Little Mermaid. Argue all you want, disagree all you want, but it's gotten to the point where people having a full out throwing mud at each other war over the Little Mermaid. How is that not embarrassing for adults? And I'm not trying to judge people, but I just wonder, like, dude, what do you think this look like when you're going online, spilling people's personal information, or you're calling people different types of names online because they don't like what you like or because they don't dislike what you dislike? It makes no sense to me. I'm like, dude, if the worst thing you have to worry about today is whether somebody likes or dislikes Halle Bailey as the Little Mermaid, you have a fantastic life because there are people in other countries that wish that this can be the worst thing they can think about right now. That their blood pressure, this is the thing that causes their blood pressure to go up. It's to worry about whether a Disney character is liked or disliked by who and by whom, and whatever the case may be. I don't know if I used that right. But anyways, like no, in all seriousness, because people can agree or disagree. Now I understand. I will tell you this. I do understand where people are coming from. Some of the people who are upset because a lot of people have nostalgic attachment to these characters that Disney are making live action versions of nowadays. And I understand where they're coming from. I'm not as upset with as they are. Of course I'm not. But I get where they're coming from because it's like I fell in love with this character, with this thing as a kid. And, when it comes to Disney movies or any cartoons for that matter, it is a visual medium. When people fall in love with these characters, they fall in love with the characters by their voice and by how they look. It doesn't matter if it's their skin tone or their hair color or the way that they look or the way that they move, the music, the way that they act. That's how people fall in love with things. Even if it's like something as simple as a house, as a car, as a person, their physical attributes is a big portion to, with their love for this individual thing. I know who they are as a person matters the most when we're talking about people, but how they look makes a difference. Like if it's a person you love and they change the way that if they look like somebody completely different and get plastic surgery or whatever, it may change some things, right? So when people come from that position, it's like I get where they're coming from. And especially since like with Disney, it seems like that they're trying to pick these fights and cause these arguments online for people to go after each other, especially when it comes to race, because Disney has alternative options that they can choose from that can satisfy the people or some of the people who don't like the nostalgia being tampered with, but also for people who love representation in their movies. Like in this, for example, they could have just did the Princess and the Frog, their live action version. There you have representation for people who love the movie. You have um the nostalgia and the you're sticking to the source material. It's in Louisiana. There's a lot of Black history in Louisiana. So even if you want to throw some of that stuff in there, you have an open field for that. But instead, they decide to change characters, changing their race, knowing that that's going to affect people, right? And Disney seems like they don't care about the population that's bothered by it. And if that's their choice, that's their choice. For me, I've always told people if there's a decision that you want to make, if you can deal with the worst case scenario, then do it. But if the worst case scenario comes, I can't feel bad for you because you made a choice knowing what could possibly happen. And obviously, Disney doesn't care about that part. So, with that being said, there's no point really for me because people have asked me this. Why don't you complain about this stuff if you feel this way, Preston? Because there's no reason to complain about these things because when it comes to Disney deviating from the source material and changing the race, the color, the sex, the whatever the case, the sexual orientation of characters, at this point, it's like complaining that water is wet. They're going to do that, and they don't care, and that's fine. For me. I know there's other people who make YouTube channels that complain about Disney every single day. That's their passion. If that's what you do to get your bag, get your money, man. Get your kids fed, pay your bills. I'm not against all that, but I can't do that because for me to continue to come here every week and complain about what Disney is doing, in my personal opinion, it's like if I went to a restaurant and like it's this restaurant named Paulie down the street. I just checked them out, and guess what? Their fries taste like like butt cheeks and corn chips and feet. And people were like, "Ugh," and you kept eating the fries? Like, what? After you ate one fries, what made you keep going? Like, what? Don't go back there. Like, yeah, you right. They probably can't cook anyways. Next day, yo, I just came from Paulie's again. I just had a double cheeseburger, and guess what? That mug tastes like double butt cheeks and corn chips and feet. And they're like, "Oh, you going back to eat something that tastes like that? What's wrong with you? Why are you going back to this restaurant?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. Maybe all their stuff tastes like that." Then I go back again. At some point, you gotta say, for me, this is how I think. Other people think differently. I'm not gonna try to tell people what to do, but for me, the reason why I don't complain about those things, because at some point you gotta say, you know what? They don't make food for me. Even if it was a restaurant I fell in love with as a kid, right now they don't make the food that I like. They've seen all the cards that I've sent to them with complaints on it, and they have not changed it. Their seasoning isn't for me. The way they cook isn't for me. So you know what? I got two choices: either to keep going in here and eat the stuff that tastes like butt cheeks and corn chips, or push the plate back and be like, you know what? I got to go to another restaurant. And this restaurant is still open after I leave. That means that there are some people who like this stuff, whether I think it's disgusting or not. People like this. So for me, in these situations, I normally just push the plate away, go to a whole different restaurant. That's normally what I do. I don't try to get people to convert to my side of seeing things. There's no point in that. And I say that because I've seen people on that side go to the other side and be like, "Oh, you like this? You're a sheep. You're an idiot. You're stupid. You're dumb." So many different. And it's like, why? What do you guys get out of doing that? And don't get me wrong, I got something for the other side too. It don't just stop for this side. But there's some people who are online who don't even like that are just there to be agitators. That's just what they are. And you got other people on the other side that love this stuff. That's like, "Oh, I love it, whatever." And if you love it, fine, that's cool. If you like representation, if you like that's all great. That's all gravy for you, right? And I'm not speaking about all you guys on either side, but I'm saying that there's a specific group within there. But if someone doesn't like something you like, with the main character being black or being of a different sexuality, orientation, or whatever the case may be, a lot of these people decide to spill out words and call people like racist and other words that ends with phobic and it's like they call them all. It's like, why? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not stupid. I'm not dumb. I wasn't born yesterday. I know that there are racist people out there who don't like this because she's black, solely because of that. I believe that. But I don't believe the entire group of people who don't like this idea of Haley Bailey being the Little Mermaid are racist. A lot of people don't like this because of, like I said before, you're messing with the nostalgia. And here's the example that I have for that. Because when Mulan came out, and Mulan had no race swaps, Mulan uh, didn't have any of that going on, but they took away the music, they took away Mushu, the very essence of what made Disney movies as we were a kid, the funny jokes and things like that. People complained about that. Why? Because you tampered with something people had love for and something they have nostalgic memories for. And it had nothing to do with nothing else. And I know what people might go to and say, well, if this person didn't like it, have a woman and lead female cast, and you have that small sect of people who like don't like female or sorry, women being the lead actor and such. But for Mulan, it didn't make any sense to say that because that's just how it was in the original story, anyways. But most people didn't like the fact that you changed something that they have nostalgic memories for. And the part that makes it worse is that you have publications out there getting involved in this. Rolling Stone coming out saying racists don't like the Little Mermaid, and it's like, Rolling Stone, why are you getting involved with this? Man? You guys are trying to stir the pot and cause people to have these arguments online and calling each other racist and calling each other this or that. You guys are adding to that for what? And I know people may say, well, they're aiming it towards specific racists. That's what they're aiming it at. It has not. It's like, no, even though your title says that racist X, Y, and Z, you're trying to stir the pot. You are stirring the pot without actually saying specific things. You're trying to add gasoline to something. That's how I feel that they're doing. But either way, man, either way, if you like the movie, personally, and honestly, for me, I know what I'm asking for isn't realistic. I know what I'm asking for now is sunshine and rainbows and daffodils and lilies and unicorns and Lisa Frank notebooks and all kind of stuff. I know that's what I'm asking for, but I just got to give you guys my opinion. I don't understand how people are not embarrassed by how they're acting online when it comes to this stuff. It's not that serious. Like I said before, if the worst thing you got to worry about today is who likes or dislikes Ariel, you got a pretty good life. Pretty good life. If you like the movie, just share the stuff. Go buy tickets over and over. Support the movie. If this is what you want to see, go support it. You're not going to eradicate people who don't like what you like all over the internet. They're always going to exist. So why waste your energy and time on fighting people? Some of them people say stuff that they don't even believe. They're just agitators. And that goes to the other side too. Like, why? What's the point of arguing with people who like something you don't like? Let them dislike it. I'm not saying people shouldn't be able to voice their opinion on YouTube channels and things like that. But at the same time, why do you spend so much time worried about what people think? I just never understood that about social media. I never understood that of social media. It shouldn't even matter if people like what you like. There's gonna be people who dislike it. Anything that you like, there is somebody who don't like it. Like for me, for the life of me, I don't understand why people like pineapple pizza. But guess what? There's a lot of them mofos out there. Why? I don't know. It's disgusting. What is wrong with people? But I kind of let them have it. I'm like, hey, you know what? We order a pizza together. Your side is gonna have pineapple. I don't want to see a single drip of pineapple juice on this side. It was gonna be me and you outside. All right. But anyways, overall, man, what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Are you guys going to support it? Or you guys don't want to support it? Please keep it clean in the comment section as much as possible. I don't mind people disagreeing or arguing, but we don't need all that. We don't need all that. I am the type of person who will delete comments and things like that. It is what it is. I'm not here for that. This is a mostly positive channel. I try to have people let people have a good, have a good day and create good moves for everybody else. But I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this. This will be the last time that I'm talking about this. I'm not coming back to this. It's not even worth it in my personal opinion. Peace on earth, man. Peace on earth. Wusa. Salute. Peace. Have an amazing day. Don't embarrass yourself online, guys. Please think positive, man. It's not that serious. Have a good one.